I'm gonna make a vlog entry right now because I haven't made one in a while and my vlogs tend to suck, I think. But I don't really, I just make them for myself. I don't know, I haven't made that many. I think they all suck so far, and I'm not an expert vlogger by any means. Don't even think. Yeah, I don't think I'm that good at it at all. I think there are a lot of things I'm better at, but that's kind of why I wanted to make this right now. I can do anything anyone else can do. This vlog is going to be about my life as someone with Ehlers Danlos syndrome. I've made others like this. There's kind of tons of vlogs about EDS on YouTube, and there's a lot of content on the internet in general. I think it's a pretty common condition, although really not very well understood. So where I want to start, I guess, is yeah, I can't do the things I want to do. I've been moving for over a month now, probably like 6 weeks. I've been like in the process of moving, moving homes, moving to a different apartment. It takes a lot, out of me. It's just, it consumes every day. Just, I mean, I can do everything, and I try to do everything, and I'm stubborn as fuck. And anyone who knows me will, and who understands me to a point, because I think a lot of people know me and, just don't really get how I work. I'll just try and do as much as I possibly can, just because then I feel like I'm a part of things, and like I'm a part of the world, and like I'm, normal, even though I don't know what normal is, and I don't know if anyone's normal. I don't know what kind of a word normal is. But I think compared to most people, like my body just does not function the same. I can still do everything else everyone else can do. I can still do everything everyone else can do, but it's just going to look different. It always ends up looking different. It tends to take longer. It tends to, involve all kinds of strange, like very careful, everything I do is just like very carefully calculated, because I can just hurt my body like really easily, and then when I do hurt my body, I don't recover. I mean, some injuries I've had in the past are just permanent, and just I'm always gonna, I think this does happen to normal people too, but it happens to me to quite a severe extent. Like, I just have parts of my body that are forever damaged, because I am apparently missing, like, Ehlers-Danlos is a disorder on the genetic level, so it's part of the collagen genes are missing, essentially, from what I understand. So my body doesn't produce like normal, doesn't recover from strains and injuries, and that is internal. That's, that's my ligaments, my joints, like every fucking body system you can think of, my digestive system, my blood vessels, my central nervous system, like everything is affected by my lack of ability to produce normal collagen because I'm missing certain genes. Definitely I'm not rare. There's lots of people like me. It just, everyone with Ehlers-Danlos is affected differently. And I tend to find that my life consists of a lot of ups and downs, and I think that that's beneficial. I think that's been good for me. I think that's taught me a lot about human existence, and what suffering is, and what it's like to come out of suffering, and what it's like to appreciate the little things and appreciate everything, and just appreciate being alive. Because I've been bedridden, I've been unable to care for my basic needs. I've had to rely on others when it's like the hardest thing for me to do. I hate asking for help, because I've had this my whole life, and I didn't know for the first, until well into adulthood, I didn't know that there was something wrong with me. I didn't know there was something different about me, so I just kept pushing myself to try to be like everyone else, to try to maintain like whatever standards society expected of me. I tried to go to school full time. I tried to work. I tried to do normal things at work that normal people can do, except that I would keep hurting myself. Severely, like what was happening with my neck, which is really common with hypermobile EDS, which is what I have. I have hypermobile type of EDS, which is the most common type of EDS. I was turning my head, and my neck was dislocating every time I turned to the left, almost like 90%. Every time I looked up, my head was sliding back, a good almost a centimeter. My brain had herniated 2 centimeters, almost 18 millimeters out of the base of my skull, so they had to do this surgery, which is, actually a common thing with EDS, still deemed an experimental procedure. It's quite an ordeal. It took several years to figure out what needed to be done and how, and it's, I don't know what the future holds. I just know that now that I've had that done, that's been the most amazing thing that's ever happened in my life. I feel a million times better. I felt like shit for years, and now I feel like a whole new person in a whole new body, which makes me want to do all kinds of things, but I have to remember that the rest of my body is still affected by EDS. Dislocating a shoulder, not as big a deal as dislocating a neck, or subluxing. Subluxing is like a partial dislocation. That's typically what happens to me. My shoulder will come out and it will stay kind of out for the whole day, maybe just because I've been like texting or something, or I was walking my dog and she pulled on her leash, pulls my shoulder out. I'm messed up forever. I mean, this used to only happen on my left, now it happens on my right too. Started happening on my right about a month ago, and now it's like, it seems like my right arm is just never going to recover. I've had nerve impingement in both shoulders, both hips. I could give you a laundry list of all the things that have gone wrong with my body, but I try to think of it as just a body type with lots of unique kind of differences, and most people don't notice probably, but like I use accessible parking spots. I have a permit, disability accessibility parking permit, cripple pass, VIP pass, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I get to use those parking spaces because I need to. I cannot run. I have to wear ankle braces all the time. When I get in and out of the car, I have to use 2 hands. I can drive just like any other person. I just probably do it a little differently. Takes me extra long to check my blind spots. I think I'm just a cautious driver. I know I'm a really good driver. I know that I'm way more careful than most people. And I know, that this has just made me consider a lot more. Like, I just have to be really vigilant all the time because I could hurt myself really easily. So, like, getting rear-ended is a huge fear. I witnessed a car accident last week. I pulled over. I wasn't involved, thank God, but I saw it. I take every possible precaution. Anyone should pull over if they see a serious enough car wreck, I think. Really, you want to make sure everybody's okay. But, the amount of people that just drove past, I kind of couldn't believe. But I think I have more built-in kind of, fear, or just, I'm hyper vigilant about all the possible threats around me all the time because I can get hurt a lot more easily than most people. And I'm also really strong. I'm physically strong, I'm emotionally strong, but that's because I have to compensate. And my life has just been compensation, one after another, adapting all the time. Half the time, in the mall or whatever, I'll take the elevator if I make it to the mall. I might try and find another place to shop that's involves less walking, but lately I've been ambitious because I've been feeling good because I recovered well from my head and neck surgery, so I've wanted to do all these things I wasn't really able to do before, like endure public spaces with noise and chaos and navigating other people and crowds, and I can't turn quickly, I can't, I can't swivel, I can't, like, my ankles will give out, I'll fall, like, I'll hurt myself, like, I'm just gonna stop in my tracks. If you expect me to move around you, I'm literally just gonna stop in my tracks and wait for you to move, because, like, that's my only option. I look like I can do whatever. I have a cane, it folds, sometimes I put it in my bag, it's super lightweight, I take it out, I feel like, I don't know, a transformer or something, like, I'm just like, and people are like, oh, where the hell did that come from? Like, you have a cane, young lady? Like, what kind of imposter are you? Like, I use the accessible washroom stall. The problem is with the elevator, this is disability binarism, I've learned. People don't expect someone who looks like me to need an accessible washroom stall, to need an elevator, to need to use a wheelchair sometimes, to need to use a cane sometimes. Can't use these things all the time because they actually cause more wear and tear. I have to do all kinds of different things to just adapt around my disabilities, because if I sit in one way too long, or I put strain on any one joint for too long, it'll just collapse. Like, I start falling apart. So I need to move around and I need to strengthen my muscles, and I've compensated. Like, I have incredible grip strength. I have really good leg strength, even though I have peripheral neuropathy in my legs. Even though my ankles are like floppy. Yeah, they don't. My knees dislocate, my hips dislocate, but I have really strong muscles, because that's what my body has had to do to compensate, and I feel like my mind works that way too. I endure a lot of criticism and weird looks because I need to use things that people just feel like I shouldn't be entitled to use, and I guess I just really want to put it out there that, like, you don't have to look a certain way to be a person with disabilities. The way it works for me is I use adaptive equipment sometimes. Most of the time, you're not going to notice me using it. You're going to have to pay really close attention if you want to see how I do things differently. Like, I don't really want anyone looking at me that closely. People look at me a lot, though, in inquisitive, judgy ways. Like, what is that bitch doing in the accessible parking spot? Well, I need it. I need it. It's my right. It's why I have the permit. I'm not an imposter. I just don't look like you would expect someone with disabilities to look. That's it. It shouldn't be that hard. Like, if we could just all withhold judgment and just, like, mind our own fucking business, I think we'd all be better off. I think we'd all have a lot less to worry about, actually. I think that would be really nice. So Ehlers Danlos syndrome can look like this. Normal, right? I look normal. I can stand, I can walk. I wear combat boots to cover my ankle braces because they reinforce my ankle braces, not because I'm trying to hide the fact that I wear ankle braces. Sometimes you see them. Most of the time they're covered because they need the extra reinforcement. And otherwise, don't wear a lot of braces because then they just put additional strain on. Like, if I wear a wrist brace, it'll cause my shoulder to dislocate more, so I can't. I just have to strengthen my wrists, do physio, things like that. I just have to adapt. And fuck off with your judgments, seriously. And thanks for listening. I hope there's other people like me out there. I know there is. Take your time, slow down. That's what I'm telling myself. Breathe. Yeah. It's good to be alive. Happy to be alive.